and we're back for chapter 10, Praise and Attention. Stick Dog was proud of his friends. They had done exactly what they were supposed to do, and the result was exactly what he'd planned. The family was completely distracted from the hamburgers. It was time to snatch them. Only here's the thing. He didn't grab the hamburgers. They were right there in front of him on the picnic table. Ooh, they smelled so delicious too. He could just reach out with his mouth, grip the rim of the serving dish that the hamburgers were sitting in, and take them all the way back to the big empty pipe beneath Highway 16. The family was distracted. Mutt, Pooh Pooh, Stripes and Karen had all done their jobs perfectly. But Stick Dog did not grab the hamburgers. Here's why. He didn't have to. That's because the family of humans finally started moving. The dad went to Stripes and began scratching her under the chin, calming her super ball bouncing. He fed her a few potato chips that he picked out of his hair. The mum went to Karen, scratched her tummy and gave the last bite of pickle. Karen stopped spinning, although she still wobbled a bit as she ate it. The boy did something quite unusual. He ran over to Mutt, lifted his own chin in the air and started howling himself. And between you and me, that boy was a pretty good howler. He wasn't as good a howler as Mutt, of course. I'm not sure anybody is, but this kid was pretty good. Mutt was so surprised that he stopped howling and listened to the boy instead, which, if you think about it, is kind of a funny role reversal. The boy shared his piece of cheddar cheese with Mutt, and then they started howling together. And see what the family are doing just there. Meanwhile, the girl sprinted right over to Pooh Pooh, who was sitting in a daze next to the big tree trunk he had just rammed his head into. The girl began stroking Pooh Pooh's head, and he collapsed comfortably into her lap. She leaned down to rub his head, and Pooh Pooh licked the bit of ketchup off her cheek. Goes licking her cheek. Now, you might think that Stick Dog would be mad about all this. After all, the plan was to get the hamburgers and run away. And Mutt, Pooh Pooh, Stripes and Karen were definitely not running away. But here's something you may not know. There are two things that dogs like even more than food. Do you know what they are? Praise and attention. And in this case, the family was giving the four dogs all the praise and attention they could handle. Think about it. If you came home from school with a big A+ on an important quiz, what would your parents say? Here, have an apple. Or, great job. I know how hard you worked to earn this grade. I'm so proud of you. And then they scratch your belly. Oh, okay, they don't really scratch your belly. You can scratch your own belly after all, but you know what I mean, right? Now, there's one more thing that you need to know before we get to the actual hamburger part. I bet you've been wondering about it, haven't you? You've been wondering about Stick Dog himself. After all, he wasn't in on the distraction part of the plan. Don't worry, he's fine. Stick Dog is fine because he did what all good dogs do when there is praise and attention being dished out. He went around to each member of that family and got a little praise and attention for himself. And you know what happened next? The mum and the dad went over to the serving dish full of hamburgers on the picnic table. They put 5 of those delicious hamburgers on paper plates and set them down on the ground. So Pooh Pooh, Mutt, Karen, Stripes and Stick Dog all got a big hamburger each. You can see them there with their hamburgers on the paper plates. Between bites, Stick Dog said to his friends, "You know, these humans aren't so bad after all." He meant until the hamburger was all the way gone. He licked the plate clean. Then the girl from the family did something truly spectacular. She put another hamburger on his plate and patted his head. The end. Until the next stomach grumbles. And that's the end of Stick Dog. I hope you've enjoyed it.